Namatu Ratana Tayasa. May I pay homage to Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. My respect goes to my parents and my teachers. Hello, good evening. Today is Wednesday, the 17th of June 2020. This is Ajahn from Varapunya Meditation Center, Aberdeen, Scotland. As usual, I'm here with you on this evening. And thank you everyone for listening this Facebook live talk and those who are following almost every day. So thank you very much. And all the questions, feedbacks and requests and all does matter. So that encourages me as well. So today is another wonderful evening after miserable days. So I'm here outside at the center. It's beautiful and sun is so good. It's like a sunbathing. Hi Margaret, and thank you Karina, Margaret and everyone. So today again I don't have any particular subject to talk as I was focusing on 5 precepts for a couple of days and yesterday completed the 5 precepts. And if you cannot follow or you didn't follow all the teachings, you may search for the Varapunya Meditation Center on YouTube. I have uploaded almost all the talks and also separated for the 5 precepts and the meditation, guided meditation and VMC talks and Corona, what Buddhism has to offer to coronavirus and so and so. So you can go on to the YouTube. So it's much easier to find all the talks and the guided meditations compared to the Facebook. And on a Facebook you have to scroll down until you can find it. But on YouTube it's much easier. Simply just search Varapunya Meditation Center or even my name, Sujan Maharjan. Then you will find all the videos, talks and guided meditations and also separate it's called playlists. You can go and listen them whichever one you would like to. Particularly I have also separated the guided meditation that I was focusing on the abdominal rising falling. I think there are about 7 parts already, so you can listen and each parts as well, whichever parts you would like to listen. But if you want to hear all the teachings, all the guided meditations, then there is another section called meditation guidance. So you can search and get all the YouTubes and whichever talks or guided meditation you want to follow. So it's available online. So simply just click Varapunya Meditation Center on YouTube and it will come up and you can choose which one to listen. But obviously if you're listening continuously, then you can come back again every day at 6:30 for the talk, and again meditation at 7:30. And previously I also have said that if you cannot make for the talk, at least come for the meditation, so we will meditate together around the world. So this is just an information. And at the center we're still working with the barn, hoping to convert it into the a hall that we can use it for multiple events. So still plenty to do, plenty to work, and materials are still needed, and also human resources too. If you're around nearby and you have skills, you're most welcome to help as well. So we also have a project on building the deer fence around in the center. So, but I have to make a decision looking at the pros and cons after this lockdown ends. What will be the situation? So need to be mindful of the financial security of the center in the future. So these are some of the information. Okay, and next month on the 5th will be or the Vassa period, or the rains retreat begins according to Buddhism. Although in the UK it's not a rains retreat, it's a summer, but we're still following the traditional starting day, that is 5th of July. That's starting the rains retreat. So these are the information. As I said, today I don't have any particular topic to talk, but I will just go on with the different things that I have come across, and also some of the things that will come along the way. Okay, so I was reading few articles and also listening some of the talks this morning, and I realized that some of the news are really sad, and very sad, and these are simply because of this lockdown and living at the same place for a longer period of time, and that's this domestic violence. Significant number of domestic violence are out there around the world, not only in the UK but also around the world, and that also led not only couples, the violence within the couples, but also that extended to other family members as well. And this is the very sad news, in fact, that their own daughter's been raped and bullied. So, and as a result of that, daughters felt very insecure in their own house and feeling of stress and depressed. And that's very sad, because home should be their safe place. And the place that they can feel comfortable compared to the outside. But these incidents appeared that home became a very stressed and very suffering, depressing environment, particularly when their parents or when their moms are not around, or other brothers and sisters are not around. So that's a very sad news. And also there's other news related to this, that the brothers are misusing the opportunity of parents are not living together, and brothers are again raping the sisters. One of another very sad news was that orphan girl was very young age, but was raped by all the family members in one of the houses, and these are the very sad news, and this is simply caused by this lockdown during the staying in the same place and nothing to do, too much energy in them, and finding different ways to release, but the way they have followed is so disgusting and also so sad. And one of the news also said that the daughter killed her own father because of misuse that he did on her, raped repeatedly so many times, and later daughter was not able to cope, and she simply killed him, and that's another very sad news. So similarly, another news was that son was always living with the grannies, and somehow because of the lockdown, mother was working in the cities, went back to stay with the family in their house in a remote village, because the mother never been together for a long time, and this time they are living together. So mother wanted to see their child, or the son should do something, and controlling. So the boy didn't like that controlling nature, so as a result he sadly attacked her and stabbed many stabs almost near to death. But she, rather than screaming, simply saying that I love you, so that's why I did it to you, and if you want to kill, just okay, kill, but still I will love you. And after that he realized that what he was doing, and with that then his again the mother told him to run away. So he ran away, but finally he repent what he did. So he came back and went into the custody and like that. So these are some of the stories that I read, and I felt very sad. And again, I was having a conversation with other friends in the UK, and they also were talking that domestic violence are significantly increased, and these will more and more the more the lockdown develops. So in this case, it's quite difficult time. All what we can suggest or help is to, my suggestion will be, know your feelings, know your emotions, and rather than committing these unwholesome activities, spend on something else. And particularly this sexually bullying and harming one another is really not helpful. That may last for a whole life. Somebody can feeling suffered or haunting the rest of his life or her life. So rather than this, one should be considering that what is wholesome and what is unwholesome actions that they are going to commit, and once they have done it, it's a really hard thing. So as a result, need to be mindful and understand that what is right and what is not right to do. So with this, again, what it reminds me that current issue as well, this so-called Black Lives Matter, and it's spreading so much, and this again, we do understand that this is not right, but again, it's we are civilized and we need to be more conscious about it. And it's again not just a black lives, it should be everyone's life, and we also need to respect both sides of arguments, what is and what, but again, both sides of the argument, simply not supporting one race or another. We should be just as a humans. Like it reminds me the discourses from the Buddha. The discourse basically suggests that the Buddha was talking that look at the grass and look at the trees, and there are so many different trees and there are so many different types of the grass. They will grow on their own in the forest. They have their own genes to grow, and then they will live together, but they have no conflict one another. And same with the human beings. We shouldn't be classifying one race to another by picking their colors, by picking their nose, they're picking their ears, face, hands, and body, and so and so. Buddha was simply saying that these classification never brings peace. These classification never brings the happiness and never brings the harmony. in the society, these only brings the conflict and unhappiness. And Buddha went on saying that these classification should be based on what we do, how do we do. That's why those who are working in a police, they are a policeman. Those who are working in a hospitals, they are nurses and the doctors. Those who are working in offices, again within the office, there are so many other office barriers. Like there is a chairman, there's an assistant, and clergies, and like that. So on the basis of their careers, they are categorized in that particular organization. But having said that, again, once they left, again all are same. And there's always opportunity, every one of us, to improve and to develop from ground level to the top. So that's why one should be classifying what one is doing and one is not doing. So someone who is performing unwholesome activities or bad behaviors, then doesn't matter which color, which race, it doesn't matter which nationality, they should be condemned and they should be punished. And that way, Buddha was suggesting that, rather than dividing or distinguishing between the colors or the nose or the ears or the eyes, but we should distinguish from their action, that what action they have done. If that's a wholesome action, then we should praise where this, regardless of their background, regardless of their colors, regardless of their nationality, ethnicity, or whatever race. So always praising, and that praise again shouldn't be shouldn't be on the basis of a biasness. Shouldn't be on the basis of biasness, and this biasness again because of the fear, because of the love, and because of simply I like that things. So we shouldn't implement these biasness on the basis of these qualities, but we should be in line with the rules and goodness they have done. Yeah. So whenever someone does something wrong, like as I said, the stories of domestic violence and rapes and these things, doesn't matter which color they are. Doesn't matter what they do. And so these are simply, we need to condemn and we need to punish in accordance with the rules and regulations of the country or the city. So this is what Buddha was saying, and these simply are these are simply the measurement to measure who is better than who, rather than having this so-called the conceit and the measurement on the basis of white or black or Asian or Westerns, like that. Okay. So these classification shouldn't be there, and obviously they won't be all in the same color. They won't be all in the same. Every one of us will have the same heights. And every one of us will not have the same nose and same faces. Every one of us will be different. Every one of us are born to be different. But within that difference, we shouldn't be classifying this or that, they or them. We should be taking every one of us as all one. We all eat. We all have the red blood under the skin, right? We all have the same desires for a happy, desires for a successful life. So we shouldn't be dividing on the basis of these things. Like, look at these grasses. All the grasses are different, but within this difference it brings beauty, and that's always reflected on, when we offer a flower, a jar of a flower to the Buddha. When you offer only one color of a flower, that is beautiful in one way, but when you put so many other colors, other different types of the flowers in that one jar, it makes more colorful and so beautiful. So even look at the flags hanging around, so many different colors, and that makes cheerful. It's like a rainbow. So based on this, we should be more conscious about these things, and shouldn't be encouraging one another to hold on to this identity of this and this. Hold on to the identity that I am white, I am black, I am Asian, I am Western, and there's within that again, I believe in this religion, I believe in that religion, my race is this, my country is this, and like that. So we should be treating equally to one another. One more thing, what I thought, that in the UK again, so many migrants are living, making it as a home, but also I felt like new generations are taught as not belongs to the UK, but belongs to their own countries. I think that's also, in a way, shouldn't be teaching. That also causes trouble as well. So although we do have the identity of where we came from, but again, we should be able to respect the country that where we are, and especially second generation or third generation, they never know their own country, or so-called own country. So this way also brings more harmony in the community. So these are the things, that I think we need to be more mindful, and careful of it. I think I have mentioned as well that the Sangha, the venerable monks community in the Buddhism, particularly in the Theravada tradition, doesn't matter which ethnic group you are from, doesn't matter where are you from, it doesn't matter what your backgrounds are. All the matter is your faith and confidence that you are willing to study and willing to practice, and with that you have taken this vow to be a monk. Once you have taken the vows and you've become a faithful, then you're simply reborning again. So that's why as a monk we have 2 names and 2 ages as well. One name is a birth age from the family name, and another name is a Buddhist monk's name. And one age is from the day 1 when I was born, or when a monk was born with the mum, and the second age is after he has become a monk. So that's why whenever monks meet each other, if they want to ask how old are you, suppose one monk is asking how old are you, doesn't mean that how old are you in a conventional level of the day when he was born, but that means that how many vasas, or how long have you been a monk. So on the basis of being a monk, it is counted as the age, and so some probably by age 60 years, but if he has become a monk only 2 or 3 years, then that person needs to respect the senior monk who was maybe about 30 years old, but he had been a monk for 10 years, like that. So basically you're giving up all the backgrounds and you're reborning again into the new community. And once you are in the new community, then again you have no other backgrounds at all. You simply give up all the backgrounds and just being a monk. And that was another great approach of the Buddha that allowed so many untouchables, or so-called low castes during his time, became followers of the Buddha, and followed the teachings and became a monk and studied it very well, became great teachers, such as like Upali, the hair cutter, like that. And again, I think Buddha had been, or was probably, the very radical against with the race or racism, from the day one. And again, the first attainment of this noblehood, again, you have to give up all the identity, identity view, so-called Sakkaya Ditthi, and yet we still will have a biasness until the third stage of a noblehood, so-called Anagami. And whether you become a Sotapada or Sakadagami state of this noblehood, there is still tendency of a biasness because of the fear, because of the love, because of greed, or because of gain and loss and something like that. But once you have attained Anagami, then there won't be any biasness on making any decisions. So we have to accept this worldling, that there is always possibility of a biasness, and despite of that, what we need is to educate and more awareness of these biasness and these racist approaches. But again, we shouldn't be more racist simply to protect race itself. Okay, so I offer this for tonight's reflection here and there. So there is no particular topic of the day. So with this, I will end for tonight's talk, and we'll see you shortly for the chanting and meditation. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow at 6:30. Until then, good night and see you shortly. Thank you.